Good morning, students. Welcome to BSc 1 second semester geology class. So today I'm going to discuss on fertilization in animals. Fertilization in animals. So in the last period we discussed gametogenesis, how gametes are synthesized by the gonads. Next, fertilization in animals. Fertilization is fusion of male and female gametes for the production of zygote, diploid zygote. Gametes are always haploid. So diploid body cells converted into haploid gametes passing through meiotic cell division. So fertilization definition. Fertilization is the process by which male and female gametes are fused together, initiating fertilization is the process by which male and female gametes are fused together, initiating development of a new organism. So for the development of new organism, male and female gametes have to be fused. The male gamete or sperm and the female gamete, egg or ovum, are specialized sex cells which fuse together to begin the formation of a zygote during the process called sexual reproduction. So next, types of fertilization. In sexual reproduction, male and female gametes are fused. Then zygote is formed. So zygote has genetic makeup received from two different gametes. So the resulted individual would possess different genetic makeup. This is the fate of the sexual reproduction. The offspring would possess different genetic makeup than their parents. Therefore, variations can be seen in offspring produced by the sexual reproduction. Now let us see the types of fertilization. So depending upon the location where fertilization takes place, there are of two types of fertilization: internal fertilization and external fertilization. The fertilization process in animals can occur either internally or externally, a difference which is largely determined by the method of birth. Animals which use viviparous and oviparous reproduction, embryos develop within the animal's body. Viviparous means these are the animals which give birth to the young ones. Oviparous, these also give birth young ones, but they lay eggs within their body cavity. After their hatching, they are coming out of their body, mother body. They are called oviparous. So viviparous or oviparous, there the embryos develop within the animal's body. And oviparous animals which lay hard-shelled eggs use internal fertilization. Oviparous animals lay eggs, right? And they also show internal fertilization. Internal fertilization. So this is egg. These are sperms. Sperms enter into the egg. The ovum becomes fertilized. So internal fertilization involves the union of sperm and eggs within the body of the female body, female parent. In order to internal fertilization to occur, the male must implant his sperm into the female reproductive tracts. Implantation can be achieved by either copulation, in which sperm transfer is performed by insertion of the penis or other male copulatory organ, and ejaculation into the vagina or cloaca, or by a cloacal kiss in which two birds press their cloacae together and sperm transfer takes place. Some animals such as mollusks, arachnids salamanders, and certain insects transfer a spermatophore, a bundle or capsule containing sperm called spermatophore, which is stored within the cloaca until oviposition takes place. So this process happens in internal fertilization. So in internal fertilization, what happens? Fusion of male and female gametes occur inside the female parental body. So male transfers sperms into the female genital tract where the male and female gametes are fused. So animals which are oviparous, though produce eggs that are lacking or have thin egg membranes, reproduce by external fertilization. External fertilization is a reproductive strategy involving the joining of gametes outside of the body, either in a spawning event where gametes from both sexes are rapidly released into an aquatic environment. See, for example, in case of fishes and frogs, during the breeding season, what happens? Male produces milk, female produces ova in the external environment, means in water. So both male and female gametes are fused outside their body. So this is called external fertilization. So gametes from both sexes are rapidly released into an aquatic environment, or may occur when eggs are laid by a female on a substrate and are subsequently fertilized by a male. External fertilization holds certain benefits such as reducing chances of contracting sexually transmitted diseases. Yes, in external fertilization, the spreading of sexually transmitted diseases may not occur. Protection from violent behavior between organisms. So protection from violent behavior between organisms. Sometimes these male and females are violent during breeding season. That can be prevented, that can be avoided by showing external fertilization and increasing the genetic variation within a population. So genetic variation can be increased within a population by performing external fertilization. So there are fertilization processes. So during the process of fertilization, several steps do occur. There are 3 stages to fertilization which ensure that the appropriate egg and sperm are able to find each other and to warrant that only one sperm enters the egg. Chemotaxis, sperm activation, acrosomal reaction, and sperm or egg adhesion takes place. Ovulation must occur before fertilization can happen. In humans, ovulation occurs once a month during the menstrual cycle. So this cycle releases an egg cell from the ovaries and the first stage of fertilization begins. In other animals, ovulation can occur in cycles of different length or is triggered by the occurrence of sexual intercourse. In mammals, after ejaculation, the sperm locates the oocyte to changes in temperature and chemical gradients. Sperm chemotaxis, a type of interaction in which sperm cells are guided to the oocyte to the hormone progesterone, which is secreted by the oocyte. With the help of hormone progesterone, the sperm is guided to reach the ovum. So this type of movement of sperms towards ovum is called chemotaxis, towards the chemical. The sperm thermotaxis, which involves the response to changes in temperature, ensure that the sperm are able to locate the oocyte. So with the help of thermotaxis or chemotaxis, sperms can locate, they are able to locate the oocyte where oocytes are present in the female body. So usually it is present within the ampulla of the fallopian tube. While the sperm is in the reproductive tract, it undergoes capacitation. Sperms undergo capacitation. Capacitation means while they are passing through the fallopian tube has liquid. While passing through this liquid, the sperm head has cholesterol and some substances, they are released, so that the sperm head becomes very fragile. It can easily penetrate the egg. So after passing through the fallopian tube liquid, the sperms may become more active. This process is called as capacitation. So any sperm which is fertilizing the ovum should undergo capacitation before fertilization, which increases its movement ability and destabilizes its membrane, preparing it for the acrosome reaction. Now, after after completion of capacitation, the acrosome reaction can be initiated. Once the sperm locates the oocyte, it binds to the zona pellucida, which is a thick layer of jelly-like extracellular. Once the sperm locates the oocyte, it binds to the zona pellucida, which is a thick layer of jelly-like extracellular matrix consisting of glycoproteins surrounding the egg. A specialized molecule on the surface of the sperm binds to a ZP3, zona pellucida 3 glycoprotein in the zona pellucida, triggering the acrosome reaction. The acrosome reaction releases hyaluronidase, which digests the hyaluronic acid around the oocyte, allowing the sperm to pass through. So hyaluronic acid is present between the follicular cells. So by secretion of this hyaluronic acid, the hyaluronidase by the sperm acrosome, this can be reduced. It can easily pass through the corona radiata. So upon successful implantation of sperm